Hello all, this is Barbara Mann from Your Empowered You, and welcome to our video Ready, Set, Goal. And this is actually a follow-up video from one that was done earlier in the year as a check-in on how are your goals coming along. So in this video we're going to quickly revisit what we discussed in Ready, Set, Goal. And then really the majority of our video is talking about the part of making adjustments. So this is when we actually are reviewing our goals and determining if we need to make adjustments. But let's go ahead and review the earlier video of Ready, Set, Goal. Like, what does it entail on setting an actual goal? So the first thing is to ask yourself some questions first, such as, what is the specific goal? So having specific goals is darn important versus something that's more abstract. What's that time frame? Why do you want to meet and exceed this goal? Hopefully it's your goal and not someone else's goal. What are some of those benefits that are going to occur when this goal is met? Who is impacted? And this is important to understand who is positively impacted and potentially adversely impacted. And how are you going to feel when you meet this goal? So that feeling of when you meet that goal is very, very powerful. So combining that with visualization and that feeling really helps to intensify that feeling of success. And that is what you want to feel, that feeling of success. It's a huge, huge momentum starter, momentum keeper, and it gets you to your goal. Can't stress that one enough. The next step is to write down the goal. So writing down your goal, just a simple act of writing down a goal, you are much more inclined to reach this goal just when writing it down. It really triggers your commitment to meeting a goal. So it could be writing it down in a journal, a vision board, whatever that looks like, but place it where you can view this goal regularly, whether it's daily, weekly, whatever. Just remember, out of sight, out of mind. And again, you can't just have it in your mind. Documenting it, having it visible really helps to solidify the commitment to that goal. So the next step is you actually want to create your action plan. So start from the goal. This is how I usually do it as well, is you start from the goal and you work backwards. You fill in what are those specific actions that are needed to meet that goal. And what are those milestone goals look like? So even though you have a big fat goal, there's obviously different action steps that are needed to achieve the ultimate goal. So what are those goals, milestone goals? And what are those specific time frames? So having time frames is important because, again, that's commitment. What resources do you need to achieve these goals? Do you need additional people? Do you need education? Do you need a certificate? What is it that you need? And make sure you put that in your action steps. We talked a little bit about this next step earlier. Use that goal daily. You're changing a habit, you're changing a routine, you're changing something to meet this goal. So it takes about 3 weeks or sometimes longer to change some sort of habit or routine. So give yourself some time to make those sort of changes, and to help do that, obviously, is viewing the goal daily. We talked about feeling like you already met the goal, that true feeling, not just thinking about the goal, but the feeling of meeting the goal really inspires you to keep the momentum going to march forward. It keeps you committed, it keeps you focused, it keeps you inspired. And when we're inspired, things happen, magic starts happening. But most importantly, when you're committed and focused, your decisions really start aligning with that goal. I mean, you're so focused on the goal that every decision that you're making is starting to align automatically to this goal, and that's what you want. And it allows you for quick modifications, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. So once you have your milestones created and they're reached, this is important. Celebrate your milestones. It's a sense of achievement. It builds your momentum. It helps you reach your milestone, your next one, much easier and easier. But celebrate the little milestone. I don't care how small it is. If it's something that you've met, celebrate that milestone. Again, it's a sense of accomplishment. It's building momentum, and that is what's important. So the last thing that we talked about in the first video is anticipating adjustments, and that's what we're going to pick up on right now because, again, this video is about how are your goals coming along. And so a lot of times when we set these action plans, we need to adjust it. So is it something that our time frame needs to be adjusted? Is there another step that needs to be included? Maybe our enthusiasm's withered a bit. But the most important thing is when you have something that needs to be changed, big deal, change it. Modify the plan, modify the action steps, and move forward. But let's talk about, maybe some of those adjustments that need to be made. And these are some of the things to ponder. What else do you need? Maybe it's something that you overlooked and didn't understand that needed to be in those action steps. Maybe it's an additional class. Maybe it's an additional certification, some sort of experience that you need. Maybe it's a mentor or a coach or somebody who has expertise that you need assistance. Make sure that you just add that to the action plan. Maybe you've got some sort of procrastination, like you know how to do these steps, but maybe you're procrastinating, you're dreading one of these steps. It's like anything in life. There's things that we don't want to do, we dread. And when we dread something, sometimes we procrastinate. And as anything goes, something that we dread in life, it could be cleaning the house, it could be doing yard work, whatever it is, you just put your head forward and march through it. And when I'm talking about procrastinating, I'm talking about things that you actually do know how to go through these steps. It's not like you don't have expertise in it. It's something you just don't want to do. Obviously, these kinds of things, just put your head down, get through it, and it's just like doing something you dread in your everyday life. Once you get through it, life's great. Life's wonderful. Maybe you need an accountability partner. A lot of people have accountability partners, and this isn't necessarily a mentor or a coach. This is just someone who is keeping you on track, who's checking in with you. So, and if you have an accountability partner, if you need one, just seek either seek a person out. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker, it could be a neighbor. It's just someone where you can do regular check-ins with. Again, this isn't somebody necessarily who is going to judge you or anything. It's just a matter of keeping you on track. But if you have an accountability partner, make sure you commit to regular check-ins. So if you commit to every Friday at 2, make sure that you have check-ins at every Friday at 2. It's very important to commit to the regular check-ins with the accountability partner. And again, what they're doing is checking in to see how the goal is coming along, what else might you need, but they're not necessarily there to provide insight. They're there just as an accountability partner. And those are pretty powerful. A lot of people have accountability partners, and it's important to have one if you need one. So if you need that, go get one and just add it to your plan. Again, as part of the plan is meet with the accountability partner every Friday at 2. Another thing to ask yourself is, do you really want to achieve this goal? What I mean by that is this something that is nice to achieve as a goal, or must you achieve this goal? I mean, there's a difference there. You can just kind of feel it how I'm saying it. If it's nice to achieve, that kind of means, well, if I meet it, that's great. If I don't, that's fine too. And there's nothing wrong with that. Versus, I have to achieve that goal. I'm sure there's things in our own lives where it's like, I have to do that. Well, when you have to do that and you must achieve it, you will achieve it. You will overcome any obstacle to get that done. So if you have, understanding your mindset is also important. If it's something that's just more of a hobby and kind of a nice to have, you may have to give yourself a lot more time because you may not be as committed to the goal. If you are in the must achieve the goal, you'll achieve it. That mindset is powerful. When you say, I must do it, you will do it. It's going to happen. So another thing to consider is, how's your support system? Do you have people in your sphere of influence who are supporting you, who are positive influencers? And this is powerful. Having people who are positive influencers around you. They don't have to necessarily be rah-rahing every 24/7. These are just people who are really supporting your efforts. It could be, they're doing it verbally or non-verbally. You just know that they're positive influencers. They got your back. And this could be a family member, it could be your friends, it could be coworkers, it could be neighbors, it could be your church, whatever that looks like. Just make sure you surround yourself with positive influencers. Anybody or anything that can help you achieve that goal is very, very, very powerful. Now, you may have a naysayer here and there, but the key to that is you obviously don't want to be around a bunch of naysayers when you're trying to reach a goal. You want to be more with your positive influencers. Okay? Another thing to think about, maybe you have some self-doubt. Very common, obviously. Maybe there's a little fear. Maybe there's a little paralysis there. You know, you're not sure of yourself. Very common, obviously, especially if you're really trying to change something. The best thing to do whenever anybody has self-doubt, fear, any kind of paralysis, things of that nature, how to combat that is to just take small and achievable steps. Not big steps, but small achievable steps that once you achieve it, however small it is, you celebrate the milestones. And it goes back to when we talked about celebrating success and milestones. It's about building momentum. And when you start building momentum, you may still have your self-doubt, you may have your fear, but it becomes more and more suppressed the more that you march along. And maybe it's not big steps anymore. Maybe it's just smaller steps. Point is that you keep moving forward. That's how you obviously overcome most of your self-doubt and most of your fear. And start suppressing it. Doesn't mean it's not there, just as suppressing it is getting easier to achieve those small goals that you set yourself. So the key to all of these is understanding, what else do you need? The support systems. Do you have self-doubt? How can you overcome that? And then make sure that you adjust that plan, adjust your action steps, adjust the time frames, adjust resources, whatever that looks like. But I'm going to keep stressing this. You just keep moving forward. The whole idea is to keep your momentum moving forward. Sometimes it's going to be a big, strong push. Sometimes it'll be smaller. It doesn't matter. The key to this is keep moving forward and keep marching towards that goal. And you will meet it. I guarantee it. So I hope you enjoyed our video on the follow-up of Ready, Set, Goal, of how are your goals coming along. And for additional resources or to schedule a session with me, please visit my website at www.yourempoweredyou.com or email me at bman@yourempoweredyou.com or call me at 916-633-2555. And I thank you very much and have a very empowered day.